Hello, this is Sara with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video I'm going to show you how to make this collar for your dog. It's called the Conversation Hearts Collar. Now you can make this into a headband, and you can make these little hearts as an applique on just about anything. Coffee cup holder, you can hook a bunch together and make a scarf. Today I'm going to show you how to make the heart and how to make the dog collar or pet collar, or you can even put this around your own collar or wear it as a headband. Now the reason this book is here is I wanted to tell you where I got the pattern from. I was given this book. It's copyright 1943, and it's a book about sewing, and it was given to me by my mother-in-law after my husband and I got married back in, I think it was like 1982 when she gave it to me. We got married in 81. And I put the book away, and I hadn't really looked through it in a long time. My mother-in-law was very crafty. She sewed, she crocheted, she knitted, she did needlepoint and cross stitch, just about anything. Well, I was wanting to learn to sew when she gave this to me, and I put it away in my books. My mother-in-law passed away about 9 years ago, and I happened to be going through this particular book, just looking at it. And as I went through the book, I came across a paper. Now, it's not this one. The one that was in there was made out of like a manila paper, similar to what we used to do charcoal drawing on. And on that paper was just written out little heart and then how to make this little heart. And this, I don't know how old the pattern is. I know it's at least from 1981 or 1982 when she gave it to me, but that's what all these little hearts are made from, is that one pattern, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. All you need is any kind of worsted weight yarn. These hearts are made from Red Heart Super Saver. They're made from Red Heart, I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby. This one is Karen Super Saver. There's also some with Love from Red Heart. So any kind of solid or variegated yarn will work. These little hearts measure approximately, you can see they're about the same size. And this will tell you how many you need to make. They measure just about at 2 inches. And this one is this Karen Super Saver. Here's one with Red Heart yarn. So that will tell you about how many hearts you're going to need for your project. So 1 heart per 2 inches, say for your dog's neck. Also remember, you want it to be loose, not tightly fitted, because this is a decorative collar that'll go over the collar that they're wearing. So grab you some regular old worsted weight yarn. We're going to be using our H-hook today. You're going to need a needle with a nice big eye, and you're going to need a pair of scissors. This is a great project to get rid of some of your yarns that are laying around from leftover projects. So just grab you some of your scraps so that we can practice making this heart together. So this is the collar that I'm going to show you how to make. It is a free pattern on my blog, and I will put that blog link in the comments under the video. We're going to begin by making the individual hearts, and then I'll show you how to hook them together and then make the chains. It's very, very easy. So we're going to begin making 4 chains. So here's my slip knot. And then I'm going to chain 4, a little bit loose. Now we're going to be working all of our stitches in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where we're going to pivot around to do our whole heart. Now the first 3 stitches are triple crochets. And how you do a triple crochet is you wrap your yarn loosely around your hook twice. Go in the stitch that you're stitching, or the chain that you're stitching, and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, go through the third 2. That is a triple crochet. We need to make 2 more of those, so we're going to yarn over twice, go right in that same stitch. There's our second one. Now we'll do another one. 1, 2, 3. So we have our chain 3 and 3 triple crochets. The next thing that we're going to do is 3 double crochets, still working in this same stitch. So we're going to yarn over, go in that same stitch, yarn over, go in that same stitch, 3 double crochets. And what you're seeing is the beginning of our heart working around. Now we're going to chain 1. The next thing we're going to do is 1 triple crochet. So yarn over twice, go in that same hole, and do 1 triple crochet. And then we'll chain 1 again. So now we've done the first side of our heart, and this triple crochet is our point. And then we did that chain 1, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in this same hole. So here's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. And you can see we're moving up the side, the second side of our heart. Roll a little more yarn out there. All right, so now we're going to do 3 triple crochets. And we're still working, let me get that piece of yarn out of the way there. That's our center yarn. 3 triple crochets, and we're still working in this center hole. Now, do not panic if you have a hole. I will show you how to take care of that. When you're working in one stitch like that on a chain, sometimes you do end up with a hole. There's 2, and here's our third one. Okay. So we did our first hump of our heart. We came down the side. This triple crochet is our center for our point. 3 double crochets, 3 triples, and now we're going to make 3 chains, and we're going to slip stitch right back in this same hole. So bring our hook through, pull up that loop, and just slip stitch right over that loop. Snug that down. And now we're going to cut our yarn, and make sure you leave yourself a little bit of yarn, about 5 or 6 inches maybe. And then we're going to tie that off. And at this point, this is what your heart looks like. So now we're going to turn our heart over backwards. And we're going to use the tail that we started with. So when you're beginning your heart, make sure you leave yourself a few inches just in case you're going to have to close a hole. I would say mine are about 50-50 depending on what kind of yarn I use. So what we're going to do, we thread our needle on the beginning yarn, and we're going to go around those stitches and make sure you're on the back side of your heart. And we're going to go all the way around those stitches. And then you need to just gently tug it. You'll find those holes, that hole will close up. And I always go around twice, making sure I gently tug on it each time. And then when I get back up to the top where my 2 little humps are for my heart, I go in the next stitch and I just turn around and go back. And then I snug that up and clip that off. Now, there's your heart applique. and you have this string. If you're going to use this as an applique, you can use this string to sew it onto whatever you're going to sew it onto. If you're going to sew it onto a sweater or a hat or something, you can use this string to sew on your heart as an applique. But we're going to use it to stitch together. So what I do is I turn it back over, I thread this onto my needle, and I go right into the center of my heart, and that just kind of pulls it down anyway. And we're on the back side here, and we're going to attach our hearts up on these corners. And so I go in that center double crochet, because we did, or I'm sorry, triple crochet. We did 3 triple crochets, then 3 doubles, and we're going to go in that center triple crochet and just push that through, because this is where we're going to sew them together. Just like that. I went ahead and chose some fun colors, and I went ahead and attached them together. And I'm going to show you how you do that. You take your hearts and you put them front side to front side. And right here, where the second triple crochet is on both the hearts, you're going to just stitch through there a couple of times until you're satisfied that that's going to stay put. I usually just do 3 loops. And then I take the needle and I go right up in those 3 loops 2 times just to tie it off. That way it's not going anywhere. And we cut that off. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hearts all stitched together for a nice collar. I went ahead and made the end on this side, and I'm going to show you how you do that. Let's move this one over. And what you do is slip knot and then chain 25 chains. Now, if your dog's neck is bigger and you want a longer tie, you certainly can. I think these would be really cute on like miniature horses and goats. Maybe even chickens. Everyone's decorating their chickens these days. But this will work for any pet, and it's a lot of fun to make. And just remember, when you're making your ties, if you're going to do it for a dog, you do not want the ties to be too long, because you don't want them getting caught in their toenails or in their teeth. So here's my chain. I'm going to tie off one side, and then I'm going to make a little knot in the bottom. And I usually do that 2 times. Just whip the yarn through, make a nice snug knot, and that's just going to keep it put. Then on the other side, I thread it onto my needle, and I sew it right in that same spot. Here's the chain 3, here's my second triple crochet, and I just do a couple of whip stitches just like I did the other one. I'm going to move that over, turn it over, make a couple of whip stitches until I'm happy that it's going to stay secured, and then I'll stitch up through it. There it is. Cut my scissors. And that's how you make the tie. If you're going to make a headband, you do it the same way. If you're going to make, say, a collar for you to wear, if you're just going to put it on a doll or something, remember, each heart measures 2 inches, and so just measure 2 inches for your dog's neck per heart. You don't count the ties because you're going to tie those in just a little bow just to keep it put. And what I do is I go ahead and tie it, and then I just slip it on and off my dog's necks without having to untie it. It just makes it a lot easier. And you could do that with a headband or whatever you're going to use these for. Like I said, it's a perfect little project to use up all your leftover scraps. Hearts are great. You can use them on just about anything for appliques. And even just make a bunch of them to scatter if you're having a Valentine party. So that's how we make our conversation heart collar.